All right, so I'm getting late. I'm here late because I've been doing things busy this morning. Today is March 11th. This is my new Dr. Seuss book. I don't think I've ever read this one. The Butter Battle Book by Dr. Seuss. Butter Battle. How can you battle over butter? I think we will find out. Let's see. The Butter Battle Book by Dr. Seuss. Look at the face on that police officer. Ain't happy. Nope. For Audrey with love. On the last day of summer, 10 hours before fall, my grandfather took me out to the wall. For a while he stood silent. Then finally he said, with a very sad shake of his very old head, as you know, on this side of the wall, we are Yolks. Y-O-O-K-S. On the far other side of this wall lived the Zooks. Z-O-O-K-S. So I guess it's Yooks and Zooks. Then my grandfather said, it's high time that you knew of the terrible, horrible thing that Zooks do. In every Zook house and in every Zook town, every Zook eats his bread with the butter side down. Oh my goodness. That's the problem. But we Yooks, as you know, when we breakfast or sup, spread our bread, Grandpa said, with the butter side up. That's right. That's the right, honest way, Grandpa gritted his teeth. So you can't trust a Zook who spreads bread underneath. Every Zook must be watched. He has kinks in his soul. That's why, as a youth, I made watching my goal. Watching Zooks for the Zook Watching Border Patrol. Yooks, not Zooks, keep your butter side up. Interesting. Never read this one before. In those days, of course, the wall wasn't so high, and I could look any Zook square in the eye. If he dared to come close, I could give him a twitch with my tufted, prickly snick berry switch. For a while, that worked fine. All the Zooks stayed away, and our country was safe. Then, one terrible day, a very rude Zook by the name of Van Itch snuck up and slingshotted my snickberry switch. Broke it right in half. Oh my goodness. With my broken off switch, with my head hung in shame. To the chief Yuckaroo in great sorrow I came. But our leader just smiled. He said, "You're not to blame. And those Zooks will be sorry that they started this game. We'll dress you up right. We'll dress you right up in a fancier suit. We'll give you a fancier slingshot to shoot." And he ordered the boys in the back room to figure how to build me some sort of a triple sling jigger. Looks like there's a battle about to ensue. With my triple sling jigger, I sure felt much bigger. Oh my gosh. I marched to the wall with great vim, and vigor, right up to Van Itch with my hand on the trigger. "I'll have no more nonsense," I said with a frown, "from Zooks who eat bread with the butter side down." Van Itch looked quite sickly. He ran off quite quickly. I'm unhappy to say he came back the next day with a spiffy new suit with a big new machine, and he snarled as he said, looking frightfully mean, "You may fling those hard rocks with your triple sling jigger, but I also now have my hand on a trigger. My wonderful weapon, the jigger rock snatch'em, will fling 'em right back just as quick as we catch 'em. We'll have no more nonsense. We'll take no more gup from the Yooks who eat bread with the butter side up." "I have failed you, sir," I sobbed as I made my report to the chief Yuckaroo in the headquarters fort. He just laughed. "You've done nothing at all of the sort. Our slingshots have failed. That was old-fashioned stuff. Slingshots, my dear boy, are not modern enough. All we need is some newfangled kind of a gun. My boys in the back room have already begun to think up a walloping whiz-zinger alone. My bright boys are thinking they're on the right track. They'll think up one quick, and we'll send you right back." They thought up a great one. They certainly did. They thought up a gun called the Kickapoo Kid, with which they loaded with powerful poo-a-doo powder and ants' eggs and bees' legs and dry-fried clam chowder. They very carefully trained a real smart dog named Daniel to serve as our country's first gun-toting spaniel. Then Daniel, the Kickapoo Spaniel, and I marched back toward the wall with our head held high while everyone cheered there, and their cheers filled the sky. "Fight! Fight for the butter side up! Do or die!" I think this is a little ridiculous. Well, we didn't do. And we didn't quite die. But we sure did get worst. Poor Daniel and I. Van Itch was there too. And he said, the old pig, the boys in my back room invented this rig called the 8-nozzle elephant-toted boom blitz. It shoots high explosive sour cherry stone pits and will put your dumb Kickapoo kid on the fritz. Poor Daniel and I were scared out of our wits. Once more, by Van Itch, I was bested and beat. Once again, I limped from the wall in defeat. I dragged and I sagged, and my spirits were low as I thought they'd ever could go. When I heard a boom-ba and a diddle-dee-dill, and our butter-up band marched up over the hill. The chief yuckaroo had sent them to meet me, along with the right-side-up song girls to greet me. They sang, "Oh, be faithful, believe in thy butter," and they lifted my spirits right out of the gutter. Okay. "My boy," smiled the chief yuckaroo, "we've just voted and made you a general. You've been promoted. Your pretty new uniform ready. Get in it. The big war is coming. You're going to begin it. And what's more, this time you're certain to win it. My boys in the back room have finally found how. Just wait till you see what they've puttered up now. In their great new machine, you'll fly over the wall and clobber those butter down, zooks one and all." Those boys in the back room sure know how to putter. They made me a thing called the utterly sputter, and I jumped aboard with my heart all aflutter and steered toward the land of upside-down butter. This machine was so modern, so frightfully new. No one knew quite exactly just what it would do. But it had several faucets with sprinkled blue goo, which somehow would sprinkle the zooks as I flew and gum up the upside-down butter they chew. I was racing pell-mell when I heard a voice yell, "If you sprinkle us zooks, you'll get sprinkled as well." Ha ha ha. Then it had a sputter exactly like mine, and he yelled, "My blue gooer is working just fine. And I'll be here to say that if yooks can goo zooks, you better forget it, 'cause zooks can goo yooks." About to obliterate each other. I flew right back home. Excuse me. And as you may have guessed, I was downright despondent, disturbed, and depressed. And I saw just as soon as I stepped back on land. So were all the girls of the butter-up band. The chief drum majorette, Ms. Yuki and Sue, said that was a pretty sour flight that you flew, and the chief yuckaroo has been looking for you. Good long. I've raced to his office. The place was a sight. Have no fears, said the chief. Everything is all right. My bright back room boys have been brighter than bright. They've thought up a gadget that's newer than new. It is filled with mysterious moo-lacka-moo and can blow all those zooks clear to Salamagoo. They've invented the Bitsy Big Boy Boomeroo. You just run to the wall like a nice little man. Drop this bomb on the zooks just as fast as you can. I've ordered all yooks to stay safe underground while the Bitsy Big Boy Boomeroo is around. That little thing in his hand here. See it? I'm not sure how much damage that can do. I guess we'll find out. As I raced for the wall with the bomb in my hand, I noticed that every last yook in our land was obeying the chief yuckaroo's grim command. They were all bravely marching with banners aflutter down a hole for their country, the right side up butter. That's when Grandfather found me. He grabbed me. He said, you should be down that hole, and you're up here instead. But perhaps this is all for the better somehow. You'll see me make history right here and right now. Grandpa leapt up that wall with a lopulous leap, and he cleared his hoarse throat with a bopulous beep. He screamed, here's the end of that terrible town, full of zooks who eat bread with the butter side down. At the very instant, we heard a clump of feet on the wall, and old Van Itch clumped up. The boys in his back room had made him one too. In his fist was another big boy boomeroo. I'll blow you, he yelled, into pork and wee beans. I'll butter side up you to small smithereens. Grandpa, I shouted, be careful. Oh, gee. Who's going to drop it? Will you? Or will he? Be patient, said Grandpa. We'll see. We'll see. That's it. Another cliffhanger book. Who do you think dropped it? I don't know. I don't know. Have a great day. Bye.